Coach, you got an injury report from the game?
Say it again now.
Do you have an injury report from the game?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we came out of the game pretty healthy. We got some guys banged up, but we should be at full strength. Provided we go out this week and be smart the way we practice.
Think Knox comes back this week?
He's practicing this week. The medical report says he's practicing this week, and we'll know by the end of the week whether he's full go or not. But he's certainly back on the grass.
Coach, what do you think about Cal's offense to this point? They went to North Carolina, obviously got a nice win there.
I tell you, you look at their offense, and we think the best player right now on the offense is the running back, Trey Watson. Went out of the ball game, and then he came back in after you see him took a vicious hit, on his lower extremities. But Trey Watson's a good running back, very explosive. He's good out of the backfield. And again, we're facing another running back that's really good catching the ball out of the backfield. We must account for him. I like the way the quarterback operates the offense. He's a guy that's going to scramble to throw the ball. He's not a guy that's going to try to extend the play forward with his feet, but given the opportunity to run, he will certainly run the ball. On the edge, they got two explosive receivers out wide, and so we have to pay attention to them, know what number 8 is. They'll give him the reverse. He'll stretch the defense vertical. So it's going to be a big challenge for us because this offense will spread the ball, try to get as much grass as they can to get their playmakers the football. So we're going to have a big challenge of tackling in space and also stopping the run game. Right now, they throw the ball more than they run, but I can promise you, their first period in practice this week will probably be the run game. So we got to pay attention to that, and we got to correct that because they certainly have some good running backs. And they had the Larry kid that had a great run in their last contest in a 4-minute offense. I think it was north of 70 yards to close out the game. So I can see them featuring that guy in the run game, trying to run him up inside and move the chains. So that's what we have to stop against this offense to be successful.
How can Jacob Peeler help you prepare this week?
Well, we've already sent him a subpoena to appear at the defensive nightly meeting. So he'll come in tonight and he'll give us some strengths and weaknesses. The roster, the guys that we're facing. He probably won't be able to give us much about their scheme, but certainly he can help us in terms of identifying the individuals, telling us their strength, their weakness, and the guys that we need to look at as capable of making explosive plays.
You wanted to see more production from your second team in week 2. What did you think about reserves against Tennessee Martin?
Well, we didn't get a chance to play many of them in this ball game. In the back of our mind as defense staff, one thing we talked about, we certainly want to see them get better. You're exactly right. But we was thinking, hey, it's about time for us to just try to keep these ones out here as long as possible and play a complete game. And we rotated some of them in, but we didn't wholesale, if you will, and went a full second unit as we did in the first game. But Ben Dukes did a tremendous job coming off the bench. He's one guy that wasn't a starter that came in the game and did an outstanding job once he got on the grass. So he's a guy that you'll see get more playing time, and it'll be between him and Dante, who starts, determine how they practice this week. So we're looking at personnel, making sure we have the right guys on the field, and also defensively. One thing that stood out was we made a lot of mental errors. Although we're really simple, we made some mental errors, and I think a coach has to pay attention to that. So we're gonna make sure we reduce the menu this week, and so we can increase their performance. So we'll be a little personnel shifting, and at the same time, we're gonna look carefully at how many defenses we go in this game with.
Wesley, did Matt tell you and Phil before he left how long he'll be in Covington for the hearing?
Well, he can only estimate. He said that he could possibly return tonight or return Wednesday, and we had great meetings before he left, and we have the whole week laid out, and he just makes sure that we will organize and that we stay focused on what we do every day. This football team and this staff has been mentally tough from day one, and that's been Coach Luke's motto. And we're just in another situation where we have opportunity to show everybody how mentally tough we are, that we're a family and that we can handle another crisis.
So how does your role change, and Phil's role change if you guys have to leave practice Tuesday and or Wednesday?
Well, Coach has tremendous trust in myself and Coach Longo, and we both operate each side of the football. That's not going to be much change. I'll stay focused on the defense, and he'll stay focused on the offense, and we'll communicate with Coach Luke as much as we can when he's allowed, to be on his telephone. But the role's not going to change. When he returns, he's going to expect that defense to be, going on all cylinders. So I'll keep focused on the defense, and at the same time, just make sure that we're following his plan. We're not changing much. He has a nice regimen laid out every week in terms of how we should be practicing the number of periods and what we should be doing. So it's just easy for us to follow, and we can focus on the offense and defense as we've done the previous 2 weeks.
UT Martin didn't throw the ball around too much, but what did you see from the secondary, and what do they still need to improve before Cal?
Well, I thought coming out of the game, you're exactly right. They didn't throw the ball much, and it's kind of awkward to say the corners played great because you don't see it in the stat column. But when you look at their performance, and just in terms of press coverage, I thought Webster was really good in press coverage. You know, he didn't get many targets in the secondary because they ran the ball, and he did a great job of just erasing the number 11, the receiver, Weathers. That was one of our game plan notes, was to make sure that we handle him. And one of the things that he did was win that line of scrimmage. Safety play need to get better in terms of their run fits and stopping the run. But we haven't had a challenge like we'll probably see this weekend in the air. So we got to make sure we showed up in that area. But in order to get an opportunity to get a sack or get an interception, you have to stop the run. So if I'm UT Martin, I wouldn't have thrown the ball either well as either because we weren't doing a good job tackling and stopping the run. So they stayed with the ground game. And so maybe the secondary get tested this week. You know, we stopped the run and forced them to throw the ball.